What's going on, everybody? We're back with more races today, starting where we left off with the first race. And if you've been watching the leaderboard, you're probably curious about how I kept getting my time lower and lower. Because 222, which is what my best score was in the first race video, was nowhere close to what I ended up with. So basically in this video, I'm going to be showing you the progression of my strategy and how I kept going lower and lower and lower until I reach my current time, which you'll see at the very end. But this first run is my first sub 2 run, which is, I believe 152 is what I scored. So let's just start with that and run through the strategy and how I evolved it. So you see I'm starting off with 1, a 000 ice tower, free Darmkey 2, and a mortar. I don't know if anybody else was doing this, but I saw a lot of people were starting with a bomber ace. Basically they were rushing a 030 bomber ace, and then once they got the 030 up, they were sending the rounds as much as they could, but I felt like that was kind of unreliable, and this might be a little bit more reliable of an early game. So basically we're doing the cheapest towers that can pop the most balloons. So in case you're not aware, a 000 ice can pop 40 balloons, same with the mortar. And you'll see I'm placing a second ice too, because my strategy right now, start with getting the most pop power you can for cheap, and then rush straight for a wall of fire. So you'll see, once around the 30-second mark hits, I'm getting ready to sell. Once I have enough money, I'm going to sell the 2 ice towers, and then build up the wall of fire ASAP. Leaving the mortar, which you'll see later I changed that strategy up because you don't quite need the mortar. I even upgrade to Bernie stuff, which is kind of unnecessary, but regardless, after we get the wall of fire up, we can send as many rounds as possible as quickly as we can, because that wall of fire can soak up a lot of balloons. So what you want to do is send 20 rounds at once that comes out. And that's also why we're leaving the wall of fire at the start of the map, because that's how you get the most money possible. If you send 20 rounds at once and you have your wall of fire at the front, it's going to be getting the money from all those balloons at the front. Way better than if you put it in the middle or the back, where you still have to wait for it to get money. That's how you shave off time, at least with this current run. So yeah, after that we just go ham. Ham with walls of fire, and just to make sure to pop all the purples too, we have the Bernie stuff mortar with signal flare just for the camel purples, and then the recursive cluster to clean up the rest. And that should basically deal with the rest of the rounds I send out. So yeah, basically just sticking with the strongest pop power towers. Granted, no bomber ace, but you'll see later in the video that I do end up picking that strategy up, because I'm pretty sure without that, you can't get any lower than around 145 or so, which is when I started moving to the bomber ace strategy. But anyways, once we deal with the hardest part of dealing with all the balloons that we send out to the end, generally the last things that will not be popped yet is the BFB, obviously, and of course the balloons that are still coming out from the front of the track, which is generally what is eliminating your time. So you'll see that I get up as much defense as possible at the start of the track, as well as trying to kill the BFB ASAP with balloon jitsus and all that. Unfortunately I messed up a little bit though, and it turns out the balloons from the BFB is what I popped last, so I ended up with 152. Probably could have gotten a little lower, but nonetheless pretty good. And you'll see I take a look at the leaderboard at this time too, and I believe I'm sitting at first place. Ignore the first 3, they're all hackers. So how do you get lower than that, you might ask? Well, we just really have to be more efficient. So here's the next run. I believe this run is going to be 145. And you also notice I bested my time. Got a new high score of 150, but not going to show that. Going to show the biggest jumps, because I did play a lot of races, of course. You need to play a lot of races to get the high score, because you won't know what's most efficient until you play it out. So yeah, same start. You'll notice I sent 15 rounds at the start, because I feel like that's the best for at least my strategy. Going with 1 ice tower and 1 mortar to start, and then getting the second ice tower. But here's the key difference I did this run. We're going to sell the mortar so that we can afford the wall of fire faster. And that means we can send the rounds faster, because we can get a wall of fire earlier. So the dollar amount to look out for in this run is 295. Once we get a 010 wizard up, we're looking for 295 cash, because that's just enough to sell all the towers and buy that wall of fire. So you'll see I do just that. And I'm able to afford the wall of fire at around 35 seconds now, so a couple seconds faster than the 152 run, but after looking at the recording, I actually got really lucky in the 152 run, because I got cash a lot faster than this run. So there's time I could already shave off there. Unlucky run. Anyways, the strategy this time, build a wall of fire, send 10 rounds out, build another wall of fire, send another 10 rounds out, and then so on until you send out round 60, and that's exactly what I do. 4 walls of fire, and then a recursive cluster, and then 2 more walls of fire at the back. That's a lot of walls of fire, because they're just insane. Sadly, this one won't last though. The wildfire is bugged, according to Ninja Kiwi, and they do plan to fix it very soon. So enjoy it while it lasts, abuse it while it lasts. And yeah, we get back our mortar after selling it, just for the purples, although you can see we are still kind of leaking some, that's fine. Over 60 rounds, there really aren't that many can purples, so you just really need something to pop them down, and then the walls of fire will deal with the rest. I feel like a balloon jutsu is most reliable because they attack fast. They don't pop a whole lot of balloons, but that's fine. As long as you have enough palm power, pure palm power, you can deal with everything else. So yeah, that leaves us with the BFB yet again. And the balloons that are coming out from the exit. I think this time, we focus on killing the BFB a lot faster, so therefore the time that's limiting us is the balloons coming out at the back, which at first I thought was round 58, because if you don't know, round 58 takes a very long time to send out. Around 50 seconds, I think. And you'll see there, yeah, I take down the BFB, but there's still balloons coming from the front, so that's why it's important to have ninjas and wizards at the front, so that you kill the last balloon ASAP. And that's what's going to allow me to get this 145.78 time, which currently is good enough for second in the leaderboard, only behind a Harvard dropout with a 144 score. So yeah, you'll see the times just keep getting faster and faster. That's what happens when you evolve your strategy. Because I know this 145 won't last. It won't be enough for second place by the end of this. So I believe this race I posted a 142 score, so a nice 3-second progression, and here's what's changed. Again, same starts, same 15 rounds. I'm not sure if 15 is the best amount. You'll see I change it by the end of this. But 15 is just enough, it feels like, for me to first get the most balloons possible, aka the most cash, as well as not actually overwhelm myself so that, you know, if I send out too many rounds, that's not going to be a good thing, because I'll die, of course, in the early game. But as for micro, we have our mortars targeting the very front, of course, at the start, and then we move it down to the middle of the track once we get our second ISAB. And then, of course, back to the wallfire. And this time, I believe, yeah, I get it really late, this wallfire. I'm only able to afford it just before 36 seconds. And in case you're wondering this, yes, this is kind of RNG based, as for when you get your first wallfire with this strategy. But the key difference here I do is that I get two 020s first, and then I get two 022s. And then of course I whip up the bomber ace for the first time. Turns out I was really underestimating these. These things are insane. And that's what's going to allow me to pop the balloons that I sent a lot earlier. So yeah, and then after that comes doing the same thing, getting a bunch of walls of fire, getting recursive clusters, getting a ninja for the purples and the Moabs, and then so on and so forth. So one thing I do have to mention here is lag, because these videos are sped up just a little bit. In real time, they play out at about half speed, so you might think it's a little unfair for races, because, of course, slower times or slower game means a longer time to micro, therefore, a much higher chance of you getting a lower score, because you can send rounds faster, you can build towers faster, you can do everything faster. And yes, that's true, but there's really nothing I could do about that in my case, because I'm running this on BlueStacks. Thank God for the Steam version, of course. As of right now, the Steam version has not come out, so you can't tell me to use that for these races. But yeah, as good as lag is, it doesn't mean you're not capable of posting a good time if your phone or PC does not lag. Because to be fair, my strategy does not even require that much micro. The only micro really comes from when you're selling your towers, your ice towers in the early game. That's where lag might make up half a second to a second. Also sending rounds really quickly, because you're sending out 20 at once. The 20 clicks you make may make a difference. But either way, there's a score 142.73. Really the main difference there was Bomber Ace and changing up the ordering of my wizards. Because if you don't buy camo on the wizards, at least the first wizards, you are able to get your next wallfire a lot faster, so that allows me to send the round faster too. With that said, on to the next race, which we finally break sub 140, which was pretty much my goal for this first race. I just really wanted to get below 100 seconds. Anything else was basically the cherry on top. Actually, top 3 was what I was kind of aiming for mostly, but I was okay either way with the top 3 or a sub 140. And this was the run. So in case I didn't mention this already, the strategy for my early game is kind of RNG based because the mortar is pretty inaccurate, so that means the mortar explosion could hit anywhere between 10 to 40 balloons, depending on where it hits. So you see, this time I afford my wallfire wizard maybe a second earlier than usual. Even then, there's a lot of room for improvement because I believe my fastest time to afford that 020 wizard was around 31 seconds, so yeah. That's a good 4 seconds I can make up. However, I could not find a way to replicate that, get it to work multiple times in a row. It really just came down to where my mortar shot. and what balloons to hit, because in case you're not aware how races work, they do reward end of round cash only when all the balloons of the round you sent out are killed. So therefore, if you kill all the balloons of round 7, you get the round 7 cash, which is, I think, 107 cash, which is a big deal in affording that first wall of fire. But the hard part comes because you don't know what balloon belongs to what round when you're sending out 15 at a time, you know? So it really becomes an RNG/guessing game at that point, which there was really nothing I could control other than keep playing until I get the good run. So even though this one wasn't really a good run for the early game, I still stuck with it because I found a couple ways to get my time just that much faster. So you'll see this time, I haven't been talking about this very much, but setting up to certain rounds is very important too. You'll see I set up to round 48, which is actually the round that's limiting your time, not 58. Actually both, but it depends on when you send it out. But for me, the reason why my times weren't any lower was because I didn't know that 58 was not the round that had the last balloon. Round 58 has a mob at the end of the round, and round 48 has a bunch of fortified ceramics. And 48 actually lasts 55 seconds, so about 5 seconds longer than 58. And that I didn't realize, because I thought the fortified ceramics were from round 58. But eventually I did figure out that 48 was the limiting round. So here you'll see we're basically at the end here, and I changed up one little thing at the end here. Dropping down a 030 Druid, which is very, very important to getting a low time. Because if you don't know what this does, this instantaneously kills ceramics. So therefore, the moment the fortified ceramic appears on the map, it's gone. Which shaves a good, I don't know, half a second to a second off my current time. Enough to put me under 140. And then the next run to show you guys is the really, really, really good run. Not my best time, but an insane improvement from 139. I believe this one ends up at 135. And here's the difference. Hints, a lot of luck involved. But basically this time we sent out round 14, not 15. I don't know why. Just decided to change things up because I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere with 15 rounds at once. If something's not working up, just try to change it. See, maybe there's a chance it might work better, but yeah. We get an insanely good early game here. An early game I could never replicate ever again because look, we can afford the wall of fire at 31 seconds before 32 hits. That's insane. You'll see in any of the other runs we weren't able to afford until 34, 35. So already there's insane improvements. Even if I did the exact same thing as I did for 139, that would already put me at 137, but here's how I get even lower. Basically, our benchmarks for rounds being sent is after the first wall of fire, sent up to 36. Wall of fire number 2, 48. Wall of fire number 3, 58. And then just send the rest there. And then pray to God that your walls of fire and your bomber ace gets all the balloons that are quickly reaching the exit. So about bomber ace positioning, this is really, really, really necessary to know. I put my bomber ace in this position because if I buy it, upgrade, and then change the targeting, it's gonna hover around the top right section for quite a long time, enough to drop, I don't know, 3 to 4 bombs, and you'll notice there, it comes in clutch so many times, because the balloons are about to reach the exits, and they're about to overrun my 2 walls of fire at the back, but no. Just a few of those bombs are enough to thin down the wave enough for me to survive, and there it is, guys. We're on a world record pace, or at least personal best. Although I think at the time of this recording, it is on world record pace. So I believe I sent round 48 on this run at around 40.5 seconds, if I had to guess. Somewhere around there. So that means the last balloon is going to come out 55 seconds later, which does add up to 135. But anyways, after all those balloons are cleared, you'll know I quickly sell all my towers at the back and buy defense to pop the BFB, and defense at the front to pop the last Moab on 58. That one comes out 3 seconds before the last balloon on 48, so I make sure to kill that ASAP with some blue Jitsus and walls of fire, and then jungle the Druid to instantly kill that last balloon. And GG, 135.80, which does put me 0.1 ahead of the current top time. Viper is not legit. In fact, the third place you'll see right here is not legit either. His name gets removed later, so that means I'm half a second above second place. Not too shabby, but since it's not the end of the race yet, people are bound to go even further, and with that said, here is my best run. Ladies and gentlemen, clocking in at a minute 34.46. So about 1.3 ahead of my last time, my best time of 135. And I honestly think I could get a lot better than that because this early game wasn't even that great. I wasn't able to buy my first wall of fire before 31 seconds. But I actually do something here that allows me to get a faster time even with not getting lucky here. So you know how I said placing the wall fire at the start of the track gives you more money? That is true, but what you could also do is, because we're trying to gun for the fastest time to send out round 48 and 58, which is what's stopping you from getting a low time, the difference here is that I get my wizard a little further down the track and preemptively send the rounds. So that when we do have enough money to buy a wall of fire, the balloons are already there to greet us, and we still get about the same amount of money. So there we go. You see, I started sending rounds around 32, 33, and then got my wall of fire 34 around. If I had as good as a run as the last run, I would have probably been able to get 132, but I did not want to try any further, guys. Because doing that required some insane RNG that I was really not up to. But yeah, everything here at this point for the early game is calculated, including starting off with 3 0-2-0 walls of fire, getting up a first bomber ace in the middle, getting a wizard 0-2-2 at the top, getting another bomber ace. Yes, pop power is important, that's why you need 2 bomber aces, and then spamming the shit out of walls of fire at the end. Because at this point, balloons are like racing towards the exit, because you don't have walls of fire at the starts, or at least not as much as other rounds. You gotta make up for it by having tons of walls of fire at the back. And there we go. Some clutch bomber aces is enough to barely survive that. Although I say barely, even though we're at no lives lost. Kappa. And after that, the strategy can kind of deviate. Basically, the goal is right now, kill the BFB ASAP and kill the last Moab on 58 ASAP. Because you want your best time to be limited by the last balloon that comes out, because if you kill any balloon but the last balloon first, that means there's room to improve. But yeah, you see right now I'm scrambling to build walls of fire at the starts. And Maulers too, I'm not sure if Maulers are that great, but they seem to do just enough for me, so I just kept them for the strategy. I mean, if it works, it works. No point in changing it. So yeah, BFB is pop, getting up a Jungle Druid ASAP. Hell, even 2 of them. Because there's a cooldown. You don't want your Druid to be on cooldown while the last round comes out. So I got a couple just in case, and there we go. 134.46. Good enough for me. We're done. Currently, that time is good enough for first on the leaderboard, but as of this commentary, this is the current leaderboard. You see I'm in 3rd place. A good 4 seconds behind Judge Josh, who has an insane time of 130. I know for a fact that this strategy could not get 130, but if I got lucky enough, maybe 132 would have been the limit, but I'd say top 3 is good enough for me. That's assuming, of course, that the leaderboard doesn't change. The top 3 doesn't change until the end of this. There is less than 12 hours left, so I am pretty hopeful that nobody is going to snipe 134. Because even getting 134 requires insane amounts of RNG and all that. So yeah, and before I get 4th place at the end of this, and get the same reward as someone who placed 200th. Feels good. Part of me thinks it's going to happen for some reason. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, my strategy behind races. I'm looking forward to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Because I feel like races is just what we need to add some competition or some fun. Replayability value to BTD6. The only thing I wish they add is a prize between 4th and 10th, or at least top 100 too, because it feels like once you get top 100, it's almost impossible to get top 3 unless you spent a lot of time into this. I personally spent about 7k monkey money overall doing this, so quite a fair bit, but thankfully I do have 50k stored in my back pocket, so I didn't go broke doing this, in case you're curious. I know some people spend a lot more though, so I do feel for them. But yes, anything to add some separation between 4th and 200th, please. I don't think it's fair for somebody with a 137 time to get the same as a 210 time. There's a huge amount of difference between the two. But yeah, I probably won't go as hard in the next races. Just wanted to do it for this occasion because it was pretty fun. And the first race, of course. But I think that's about all I have to say there. If there's anything else I want to add, I will mention it in the comments. So thank you for watching, everybody. Make sure to subscribe for more races, more BTD6 content on the way in the future. So in case you're not aware what this week's race is, or yeah, this week's race, primary qualifiers, you got Striker, you can't change this guy, and primary towers only, no knowledge. Let's give it a run, see how well we can do. Okay, 001 ice. Let's send up to round 7 again. Fast forward. These rounds, we just gotta wait for 370, or 270. And then we send up to round 11. We should get our ice tower after next shot. Next shot. There we go. Let me just get a 000, no 001, we don't need it. Let me slowly send each round out, so 12. We are gonna leak a lot though, maybe this ice tower spot is really bad. Looking at it. That's a lot of lives lost. Don't know about this one. Really bad ice spot. Only 30 pops. Yeah, that's garbage. It is kind of useless. We should probably sell it, honestly. Boomer. Let's send 20 out. That's kind of risky, though. Again, I should be using hotkeys. We should be getting a crossbow, too. Just for the leaks, like this. We need a crossbow to clean that up, for sure. But I'm not doing that. I don't know why. Just am not. Oh, we need a 2032 bomb tower. That's way better. We are not setting the rounds fast enough, either. When should we get Striker? Now? Yeah, Striker now. Striker. We need a Dart Monkey too. Crossbow for the camos. Let's send for the 36. 37? 38? 39? That's a lot of rounds. Okay, let's get a recursive now. Before we send out 40. Because that's pretty good versus Moabs. We'll send up to 41 because 42 has rainbows. Spooky rainbows. You know what? Should we send it? Hold on. No, not yet, not yet. We need a lot of camo detection. Striker. Let's send out to 45. Why not? Ricochet. 302. We need a Juggernaut. ASAP. Last. Juggernaut. 58. Screw it. We need... Send all the rounds we can. Striker. We just gotta spam jugs now, guys. Spam it. Spam the shit out of jugs. Or else we're dead. Come on. You got this, Jug Army. Holy crap, that's a lot of jugs. Stun. 60. E for bomb. E for bomb. Is that enough? Guess I got another bomb just for good measures. So far, I think we're on pace for like, what? 330? 340? That's kind of meh. We also need crossbows for the BFB. Kill it ASAP. Last one standing. Let's get a sharpshooter. 340. That's kind of meh. Morglaives? I don't know. Striker? 344. So we made a 1-minute improvement on our 449 time. Kind of messy. 18 lives left. Let's check leaderboard. Where are we at? Where do we stand? So first place is number 10. We are 16th, so that's 7th place right now. Let's try again. Our goal? Send out 58 at 220. That will mean we get around 310, which is a pretty good score. Assuming everything goes to plan, so... Let's go! 7. Slowly send out round 11. Take our time. Don't clump the balloons too hard, or else we'll die. There we go. Ice tower. And then let's get ready to drop our bomb tower. Not yet. Now. Last. Most money possible, guys. Yeah, 16 will stop. And then very soon we should get all the money for a 3 thing. There we go. 25. And then quickly get a 205. Here's where we're going to leak a lot of lives, but not much you can do here. Come on. Bomb tower now. Black balloons are leaking too. We need a boomerang. Boomerang. Set up to 32. Come on, save some lives, please. Save some lives. Down to 58. That's not very bueno. That's fine. Set up to 35. 36. We need 2 crossbows, I think. 39. 2 crossbows, I think is good enough. Just for the camos. 39. And then Striker, and then send the Moab. Strong? Yeah, strong for the Moab. 41. We gotta go fast, guys. Gotta go fast. And then start a Dart Monkey army of Juggernauts. 44. Hell, even 45. Why not? 46, 47. 48. Pretty good progress so far, I'd say. Sell for another jug. 50, yeah, 50. We'll get another jug here, or a bomb tower. Alright, start sending the rounds. 58. That was a little late. 223. But now, we just gotta get a bunch of jugs, and pray. Pray. 5 jugs, 5 jugs. 60. Come on. 60, there we go. And now we can need recursive, recursive. Recursive. It's a lot of recursives. Camos are now under control. Yep, I see it. I know what the sweet spot is. It's 6 jugs is a sweet spot. Looks like. Now for our Maelstrom. Kill the rounds ASAP. R. We need some of this too. Actually, we need a lot of Maelstroms, because the last Moab is here. Come on, kill it. Hey, 312. Not bad. 9-second improvement, wow. And what did we change there? Not much. Now we are 8 seconds off the top time. We are actually in second place. Well, that's pretty clean. Now let's quickly get up this thing. 25. 2, 2, 3, come on, there we go. And I think we can start going ham here. Come on. 32. Come on, 300. Ricochet, there we go, 39. Can afford to go ham here. Also a Dart Monkey for the camos. Yes, sirree. And then Striker. Now. And then Strong. And then send out 41 for the Moab. We can handle it, And then another crossbow. There we go. Get 6 Dart Monkeys. 6 is the number you want to get. Send 48 now. 48. We gotta go ham. Here's where we go ham. But we do not send anything else yet. Keep waiting. We're on a really good pace here. Hold on. This might be it, actually. Hold on. We should be sending the rounds like this, yeah. Spaced enough apart that we don't, like, kill ourselves. Okay, that's 5 jugs. 6, 6. We need 1 more. There we go. Now we need bomb towers. We also need a ricochet. Come on, recursive. And boomerang. We need to get the thing back. And then the Morglaives. Perfect. So far, looking pretty good. Pretty steamy right now. I guess we got a tack shooter. I don't know. Yeah, get rid of some juggernauts. We don't need it. R. That? Stun? Oh yeah! 0.02. Less than 3 minutes. Not bad. We definitely could improve because that BFB took a long time to pop. That was not the end of 58, so you can definitely do better than 0.02 seconds below sub 3. Just gotta do a little better micro, gotta say. Yep, we are sitting at first place. The top 9 are all hackers, so you can easily tell by the badges. But yeah, 259, should we keep going? Alright, transition time. So just like the last race and this race, generally what I like to do is play the first couple games on stream, get a feel for how the race goes and all that, without actually revealing my best strategy. That I prefer to do off stream, just so you know. People don't copy the strategy. Makes it a little more fair that way. But anyways, we can go a lot lower than our current time in the previous run, which was 2:59.98. I believe this one is a 2:40 run, which is not my best run. You'll see exactly what it is by the end of the game. But let's talk about how I was able to shave off that much seconds off my time. So the starting strategy of the race, not really much different. I'm doing the exact same thing as I did on stream, starting with the 001 ice in the middle there. And then once I have enough money, get a 000 ice, and then sell that ice tower for a cluster bomb once I can afford it. And by that time, I've already sent out like round 18, I think. And then once you get a cluster bomb up, you can afford to send up a lot more rounds, just because it can pop so many more balloons. The only issue is black balloons, and the ice tower can't deal with all of it, just because it has a pierce cap of 40, so sometimes it might not get all the black balloons. That's why I gotta get a boomerang right away. 302. Now that the 302 got buffed, it does a lot of damage, gives you a ton of cash, which is exactly what you want for this race mode. Then after we get the 302, we send up to 39. We don't want to send around 40 yet. We can't kill the Moab. We need to get a recursive cluster for that, but we don't have enough money. What we need first is camo, so that's why I'm getting a crossbow, and then striker, and then getting ready for another crossbow later, after we get a recursive. So you'll probably notice that the strategy hasn't really changed much from the other runs. And that's basically because I feel like this is the best way you can do it, but you just have to do it even faster, so it's like what we did previously, but on steroids. But anyways, we need to get our Juggernauts up ASAP, because we're about to send round 58, and we don't want to get caught with the pants down. And you'll notice, before I send out 58, I do get up a 402 boomerang. This does not pop camos, but it's extremely crucial, because it pops so many balloons, gives you so much cash. It'll give you enough cash so that you can buy the Juggernauts while 51 and 56 are coming out. By the way, if you didn't know, 51 and 56 are the main problems for the camo rounds. Those rounds have camo ceramics and a shit ton of camo rainbows. Something that only Juggernauts deal with. So that's exactly what I do. I get 5 Juggernauts. I think 5 is a sweet spot. 6 is a little overkill. 4 is not enough. 6 is exactly what you want. And once we finish that, we can start selling our Juggernauts to get up more Maulers and Recursives at the starts, so that we can kill the balloons at the front faster, which might shave off a couple seconds, milliseconds, off our time. And there we go, last Maul popped and we get 240.38. Not bad, a good 20 seconds off of our best stream time, but I can assure you there's a way to go even faster. And another lower run. I believe this one is a 2:35 time. Pretty good improvement considering at this point shaving off 5 seconds off a really low time already is a huge difference compared to like going from like 3:05 to 3 minutes on the dot. Not quite the same, but anyways. What do we change here? Really not much. I'm just trying to send the rounds earlier. That might make me be able to afford some upgrades a little bit faster than before. Because the time to look out for here is when you're sending out round 58, because that's generally the last round that you're going to have to pop. Because that round takes quite a while, almost 50 seconds. A little less than that. I think in the first race, the time to look out for was 48. Because round 48 was the really long round. But this time, we have a long gap between sending 48 and 58. Because you can't send the rounds between 48 and 58 that fast. You need to get Juggernauts beforehand. Otherwise, you're just going to get overrun by the camos. I've learned that many times. Restarted many times, failed many times. But it's all about the one victory you get. And this one, I'd say was a pretty good run. You see at 48, we already have a Juggernaut up. We're getting ready for round 58 getting sent. So I basically have one Juggernaut and one 302. And once I'm able to afford that Morglaves 402, we send out 58 ASAP as soon as we can. I believe in this run we sent it out at 147.4. That's the fastest time I've sent it out so far as of me playing this. But same old, 5 Juggernauts. After we get our 5 Juggernauts, we get up a Cluster Bomb 204. Just to deal with the mobs that are like kind of overlapping the camos. You can really tell we're lacking a lot of more bomb power, but we are able to survive there with a little bit of panic bomb tower at the back there. But yeah, after all that's done, we just sell everything, all our Juggernauts, to put Mob Maulers at the front. Kill that last Moab ASAP on 58. Because that's the best way to pop Moabs, at least I thought. But there it is, 235.31. Pretty insane time. At the time I got this, I was like, there is no way I'm getting any better than this. This was a really good run. Enough to put me, at least I think, #1 on the leaderboard again. I'm not sure if that 231 time is legit, but we'll see after Ninja Kiwi does all the removing all the hackers. But as you all know, once you take some time off to think, you realize that there is one little improvement you can make. And I show that right here. Not in the early game, it's actually at the very end. So I was just talking about how the best way to kill off the last mob is by spamming more maulers, but there is one thing that can help me shave off about 1 to 2 seconds off my time, and you'll see at the very end. I also surprisingly do the early game to mid game a lot faster than that 235 run. So already that's a pretty hefty improvement, but yeah. Same old, except this time I'm doing something a little different with the bomb tower. I'm putting on last. It feels like putting the bomb tower on last is a little bit better than close, which was what I was putting on before. Just because putting on last will make the cluster bomb shoot a little bit higher, gets a little bit more pops on the other balloons at the very top of the screen there. But yeah, same strategy, 302 boomer, followed by a 203 crossbow. Sometimes I do 023, sometimes I do 203. It just really depends on how I'm feeling during the game. But yeah, same thing. Send out the Moab, get the recursive, get a 402 Juggernaut, get ready to send out 48. We got the 2 Juggernauts lined up, actually. I think that actually played a pretty crucial part. But yes, sending out 48, and if you took a look at the race clock, we sent out insanely early. I believe it was 145.5, somewhere around there. But now comes the really hard part. We gotta beat all those camos. And the thing is, if you send the round earlier, well, you have less money to buy the Juggernauts that fast. And that's what scared me, but I was barely able to defend. We got some mobs going really far too. But thankfully, I'm just about getting up my 204 bomb tower. So we should be able to deal with all the balloons back there. But still a bunch of balloons leaking. Thankfully our crossbows, I had one more crossbow at the back there. Just for good measures, and you'll see here, the difference. We get a 040 bomb shooter, and we use it just for that last Moab. Not the BFB. As much as you think I'd want to use on the BFB, because it has the most HP. Nope. That is the absolute fastest way to pop that last Moab. And I somehow found a way to incorporate it in my strategy. And there it is. 231.96. Definitely no way I can do any better than that, unless I want to try again and again and again to improve by like 0.2 seconds, but nah. So the third race ever in BTD6 called Red, White, and Green, we got Alpine Run, medium mode again. Kinda boring that it's the same medium mode every time because I feel it could be interesting if it ended on round 80 or 100 instead of 60 every time, but either way we got Aces, Ice, Oban, Ninja, and Druid. And the obvious strategy is to go for a ton of bomb races, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So let's aim for, I don't know, this run, 220. So we're going to want to send out 58 at what time? 135. Because generally 58 takes 45 seconds. So 135 is our goal for 58. And the rest of the early game, we'll just try to survive. Until then, let's go. You gotta love the half price MK. It's kinda crazy. Because the last race had no MK, the top time is only 230. Well, 226, which was set by Nodinth. He's currently number 1. And I am also in second place, just like last race. What are the odds of that? Quite probable considering, well, if you made it to the first couple spots in the first couple races, of course you're gonna get a pretty high time in the rest of the races, as long as you know the good strategy behind it. So, 32, get 2 bomb races, and then 35. Just gonna play a little safe here, not too ham. 39, I said. Open time. And then a 4th one, and then we'll send out 48. I think that's how it goes. Yeah. All surrounded to drop Brambles. Gotta remind me. There's 5, yep. Brambles time. There's 6. We're actually really ahead of pace. So, you know what, I'm gonna send 58 right now. A lot earlier than 135, but hey, if we're early, why not? And now we get Ice Towers. The Ice Towers are crucial to stall the balloons. Otherwise, they're gonna leak. Also, I need to get a Balloon Jitsu. Just in case there's leaks, send them to 60. So that's a lot of bombers. I think that's good enough. That's good enough. Let's get a Ground Zero now. I'm just gonna wait for the money. We might have gone a little late here. But we're gonna use it once the last balloon comes out. Not yet. Fast forward a little bit. Is that the last balloon? Yes, it is. Yeah, we don't have Ground Zero yet. So we could definitely shave a couple seconds later. And GG. That is a pretty good time, 2:14.15. Well, we got a sub 2:15. Pretty nice. Now we go for really aggressive. So, I don't know, 2 minutes? 2 minutes would put me at second place. So I'll take it. Let's go. Don't know what to do this time other than send rounds even faster. That's really the only solution. So send to 13. Doesn't really matter too much, I'd say. Either way. Pineapples. See, this pineapple got no balloons. That's really bad. If I was a god, I would have the first pineapple up here. Or micro the plane so that the balloons, the explosions, always get up here, but too spooky for me. There we go, bomb race. 31 seconds. 25, I guess? 25? Yeah, 25. 25 may give extra money, thanks to purple balloons, pink balloons. 29. Before we get our second one up. Hell, even 32, fuck it. Gotta go ham. 35. But if you go too ham, you lose a lot of lives right now. That's what's bad. If you go too ham, that's what happens. You lose a lot of lives here. Lots of them. 57, yeah, it's really bad. Either way, we're gonna send it to 48 now. Get open. We might die here, honestly. Come on. We have no brambles yet. That's not good. Brambles, brambles, brambles. Nope. Really bad. This is not the run. Not the run. I'm gonna have to restart after this. Anything else? Anything else? I don't think so. I think we're okay for now. So I need to sell some towers to get my thing up. So I'm gonna do this. That. And then get back some defense. Just to make it a little faster, you know? Might help us a little bit. Don't know. Who knows? Fighter plane. Come on. Ground Zoo's up. Alright. Now we just wait for the last balloon, like right here. Oh, okay, never mind. That was really bad. Really late 58s. But we still got best time, but can definitely do better. Well, who's gonna get first place by the end? We'll see. Either way, I can definitely feel the difference on BlueStacks. But I just don't know how to... Holy crap. That is so laggy. Well, I'm gonna try it anyways. Because I have to. I don't know if you can do either, honestly. This is 25% speed. This is how you win, indeed. But this is also how each like game will take 5 minutes or more. That's way too slow. It is so weird playing on this thing because how slow it is. It's actually so slow that it's actually hurting me. No lie. As much as you guys think it's gonna help, let me tell ya, hotkeys are very important too. And the speed of this is so slow that you just... I don't know. It's just too slow, I think. Let me set to 39. This is like... I probably can't do any more than one race of this. 30 lives. Come on, 900. 900. There we go. Open. I said open. Oh my god, it's too slow. This is way too laggy. Holy crap. I guess the lag helps us, like, really, really, really much. Like, right now. Because this is where you need to do really good micro. This is gonna work to our advantage very much. Very much so. Brambles. Brambles now. That will save a lot of lives, I think. Come on. Now we need ice towers. Ice towers. Ice towers. 101. Send out 60. Another ice tower there. And then a ninja at the back, too. 12 lives. 12 lives. Guys. My god. Well, this really helps with micro, for sure. Gonna drop a ninja if we're gonna leak here, but I don't think we will. Our bomb races are clutch. Very clutch. I should sell now, shouldn't I? Precisely. We're gonna leak, though. Hold on, hold on, hold on. This is bad, this is bad. Sell. Ground zero. Come on. There we go. Now we need to survive. Because we got a ground zero. Come on. I think we're alive, though. Let me actually make sure to damage the BFB as well. Because right now, that's kind of the issue. Because I'm kind of scared that we won't one-shot the BFB with our thing. Granted, we probably should, but just to be safe, we will get some insurance here. Oh, I dropped it early. No. JK. Holy crap, we're actually tied. Interesting. Well, it turns out BlueStacks actually helps a shit ton. And I can probably do better because I didn't notice. I didn't know when to use my ground zero. Go again. Come on, ace. 13. Don't know if it's better just to go outright 15, but I like to stagger a little bit, so... Pineapple now, 15. And don't go for 16, no, don't go for 16. 16 seems to take away a lot of lives, so that's not really that great. So we'll wait. Now 16. Sell. Bomb race, come on, come on, come on. There we go. 24. 24 is a good amount without us dying to any balloons. 25. Slowly. Number 2. 32, I guess? Yeah, 32. Come on, bomb race. We need it now. Now? 35. Gonna leak a lot in the process, though. What can you do? 39. There we go. Bomb race number 3. And bomb race number 4. And now we send up 48. Gotta go ham, guys. Gotta go ham. Open now, too. That was really slow. We're really ahead of pace here. Okay, we got a lot. 58. Gotta go ham. Gotta go ham. Yeah, spam the shit out of them. I mean to put them on infinite. Oh my god, I can't play this set on figure 8s. Dude. What is hockey for ninja as well? Camo's leaking, camo's leaking. Make sure not to die here. Bomb race. I need sell for a thing. There we go, ground 0. Now we need to kill the BFB. So fighter plane. Brambles 2. Fighter planes. I think we're looking good right now, looking good. And wait for the last Moab. Last Moab, where is that? There it is. Now? Wow. Oh, I used that a little late. But I think we're still number 1, and we beat our high score by 0.02 seconds. Wow. 0.02, guys. There is room for improvement, but we're currently number 1. This guy's obviously a hacker, 122. Come on, dude. All I know is that 0.02 seconds is not safe. Not safe. I lost time there because I wasn't sure if that was the last Moab, so I waited. That lost me a second. So you can definitely get a lot lower than 159, for sure. You just gotta get good. So, we're going to go even lower because this is not good enough. Not good enough for me. So this race, 4th race ever, Hardy Racers, it's kind of interesting in the fact that it's now hard mode, 80 rounds instead of, well, the normal 60 rounds, so this is definitely going to change some things up. But the thing is, every tower is enabled, except for heroes. So the general strategy is going to be the same, and, well, let's head into here and see what my strategy is for this race. Let's go. So here's my current strategy for the race, and in general, how to get below 4 minutes and get around 3:30. I'm gonna start with a mortar, So the early game is basically almost the same thing as the first race, which also allowed every tower. So let me go up to round 10. We're going to do the mortar and ice darts. But the big issue is that medium mode versus hardest prices. So, well, you can't actually afford an ice tower and a mortar off the bat. But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get the earliest wall fire. But this time we're only going to go 1 ice tower instead of 2, just because there's no good place for a second ice. And then get ready to sell. At around 730, we sell both for a wall fire. Same strat. So we're gonna go wall fire heavy, bomber ace heavy. There we go. 32. Wall fire number 2. And then 39 after. Not yet. Come on. There we go. 39. Third wall fire. Camo. 45. Come on. Bomber ace. For the other balloons that are not purples. And then another wall fire back here. For the balloons that are about to get the hell out of my map. 53. Okay, 58, 59, 59. I think we need one more wall fire and then we're good. And then a recursive, so basically the holy trinity of Helipom power, bomber ace, bomb, and a wall fire. All three will give you a really good time. Are we alive? Please be. We're gonna leave one thing though, that's fine. Ninja? No, we're fine. Bit of a scare there. But basically what I'm gonna do next. Ground zero. There we go. We're gonna wait a little bit. But after this, we're gonna send a shit ton of rounds right now. 80. And then use it. Not yet. Not yet. Once it's almost at the exit, so now. Alright. And then we sell that ground zero. Get as many of these bomb blitzes as we can. And a bunch of walls of fire. Just to defend all the rounds that are coming out. That is my current strategy. And hopefully we will survive that. Awesome. The biggest issue is that first rush after you use the ground zero. So you want to make sure you're alive for that. And alive for the rest of these, all these BFBs, all these UMGs. That is a lot of blimps on the screen. And that should basically give us a guaranteed sub 4. And close to around 3:30 in time. Round 58 takes about 1.5 minutes to come out. And I think we're going to get another ground zero. If I can afford it. I can probably sell a few of these guys. A little overkill here. For sure. Much overkill. Sell one of these. Ground zero. And then we're just gonna wall fire the front. Just for the last balloon. Come on. Ground zero is not up yet, please. Ground zero. Ground zero, please. There we go. Ground zero. And what is our ending time? Just waiting for the last ones to come out. 3:32. So not bad, but that's my general strategy. Let's go. Round 10. Ice tower. Attaboy. You know, I probably could get a better time if I microed better on blue stacks. But I'm not going to try that just yet. Because I know for a fact that to get the best time possible, you gotta use blue stacks. Or lag at all. You need some kind of lag. But yeah. Right now, Steam is actually a disadvantage. So sell, not yet. There we go. 32. Wall of fire number 2. Come on. 35. 39. A third one here. 45. How about now? Attaboy. Get an ace real quick. I said figure infinite. Oh boy, that's a lot of balloons leaking. Oh no, that's gonna kill us. Our wall fire missed, or our bomb race missed. Actually did not kill us, wow. But we got a lot of towers up. Bomb race, number 2. 2 seems to do the trick just fine. Now we need a bomb tower, recursive. And that should be good enough, but I might drop another wall fire in case we're close to dead here. Let's see, do we need it? Do we need another wall fire? No, we don't. Okay, then. Ground zero. 145, we're gonna send it. 145, send it. So now. 78. Oh man, that's a lot of rounds to send out. And get ready for a bunch of bomb towers. 4 of them, 5 of them. GZ. That's 3, that's 5, that's a lot of... That honestly should be more than enough. Like, I'm gonna stop here, and I'm gonna get some... Mole ballers. You know, Assassin too, screw it. Let's try an Assassin. Don't know if that's gonna be any better, but we can try. And that 5 recursive seems to do... perfect. We also need a ground 0 later, but not yet. There we go. And we should be set, honestly. And a wall of fire back here for good measures. Do we need to drop emergencies back here? Oh, fuck. Ground 0? Please no. Oh god, that was close. We need to kill off the layer first. BFBs. We have to insta-kill it. There we go. Drop it. Drop like it's hot. 315, 316. 317. Not bad, not bad, not bad. But we're still 25 seconds off of first place. So right now the strategy is not going to get 253. But we can still improve on it. It's just... we gotta play a little more aggressive, because that's... we still have a lot of leeway. So let's get a GZ by 130. 130. If we get it before then, that would be nice, but I would not count on it. Come on, wizard. There we go. Sent up to 16. 16. Can afford to do that. And then we get a fireball. Come on. There we go. We are leaking a lot of balloons, but that's fine. We got mana shields. We got pre-game prep. Let's move our mortar. Get some monies. There we go. We're gonna leak a lot there, but that's fine. We gotta tank it. Yikes, that's a lot of leakage. Sucks to see, but what can you do? Come on, wall fire, wall fire, wall fire number 4. There we go. 2 more walls of fire, and then we're pretty much done in terms of walls of fire. And then a bomb tower. Bomb shitter. Gonna leak camos, that's fine. Okay, GZ by 130. I just gotta sell some towers, but we're not fine yet though. Sell, sell. Fuck, sell. Goddamn, are we alive? I guess we can focus on defending while we're waiting for our GZ. Now? I forgot the hotkey for a sub. Come on, remove this please. Ground 0. That's 4 recursives. And then we're just gonna get a bunch of walls of fire. As much as we can. And are we alive? Are we alive? I think we are. That was a lot of balloons though. Looking good, but I just don't know with ground 0. You can't get a sub 3 time with a ground 0. I don't think you can. I think I have to change the strategy if I want to get the best time. Because this is pretty good, but this is pretty much our limit as well. Let me sell some firewalls. We need to get... oh, fuck, we sold our GZ. Okay, 305 at best is what our current time is. And then ground 0 this real quick. Cool. And then we just gotta wait for the rest of the round. And there it is, 311.81. Pretty good, but still, you can't... We need to change our ground 0 strategy if we want to get sub 3. Not going to shave off 18 seconds with the GZ. 18 seconds, man, what does he do? What does he use? So the 5th race ever bans wizards. So this will be interesting, right? Because we got 1 life. No wizards, so no wildfire to bail you out. But little do you know, we have another wizard alternative called Gwendolyn, which actually allows you to get a really insane time. So if you thought 130 in the first race was insanely broken, let me show you how to get 130 and below in this race. So I'm just gonna start off with a really safe strategy. Here's how to get a really good time with Gwendolyn. Obviously, Gwendolyn start. Gwendolyn last, because if you want to last, it's gonna throw the fire on the intersection. We're gonna aim for 130. Gonna place Gwen in the intersection here for the firewall, which is basically like a wall fire, but even better. So watch. Fire. 39. Cell. Gwendolyn, last. This guy. Heavy bombs, please. Please. Another one. Fighter plane. 48. We're kind of slow here, I know. Just a test run, by the way, in case you're wondering why so slow. Just taking our time here. Recursive, and now we send out 58. A lot of time on the clock to spare. I'm also gonna get a ninja for the decamization of balloons. Don't know if that's gonna actually do much though, but now we just focus on defending. And let me hope I didn't goof here. Might have goofed though. More glaives. Another ninja for camos. Counter espionage, just so that our bombs can actually hit it. And we should beat that just fine, I think. And that should give us about a 130 time, if I did not goof here. Pretty sure that's all we need, really. Yeah, there we go. Jungle the Druid to end the round a lot faster. And I think that should be about GG. Now we just wait for the rest of the rounds to come out. And the rest is history. Balloon Jutsus to pop the Moab as soon as we can. Oh, wow. That was kind of slow. It was actually the Moab that came out last. But our ending time is 129. So that, folks, is how you actually get below 130. Because with the Gwendolyn start, you can actually get insane fast forward. But very messy strategy, by the way. Only enough for 50th place, if you take away all the hackers. Probably a little higher, but yeah. Can definitely do a lot better. I just took my time there. So what do we do differently this time? Maybe we'll send out 60 a little earlier, so let's go for 125. Let's send out the 58 at 35 seconds, maybe a little earlier if we can. So let's go again. Play. We can send out up to around like 10, because then we gotta wait for the cooldown. There are no pinks or yellows to fuck us up. Come on, fire. Sell. Last. Send up to 48 now. Very risky. But we gotta go ham. There we go. There's Gwendolyn. 2 fires. We're actually kind of ahead of pace, so let's try. Let's see what happens if we go all 60 rounds right the F now. Right the frick now. I also cannot place my goddamn bomber ace. Come on. Ninja. For counter espionage. And are we safe? Are we safe? Are we safe? I feel like we are. But let's make sure. Let's make absolutely sure that we're okay here. By getting some bomb towers, a lot of them. It feels like we're fine. Camos. Oh wow, that was close. That's actually pretty good. This is looking like a pretty good run, and I did not even send out the last round that quickly. Actually waited because we were actually way ahead of pace there. Way ahead of pace. Now let's just make sure we kill off the last Moab ASAP. And how do we do that? I don't know, Ninja. For the Moab, come on. Kill faster, please. Whoa, what the hell? 115? Well then, I did not expect to have that big of an improvement, but apparently so, and that's enough currently for, well, on this leaderboard, second. If you include the people who got removed, legit, then we are currently like 5th or something like that. So not bad. But I'm surprised we actually did it that fast, because there's a lot we can improve there. I also know I can improve this time if I play on BlueStacks, because this is with no lag. So we're basically playing the game in full speed. But if you play on BlueStacks, which if I play on BlueStacks, I lag a bit, we can actually get a much faster time because we can play the game in like slow motion. So while we're on the topic of BlueStacks giving us a big advantage, because I'm pretty sure that's what the top place current guy's doing. He's using BlueStacks, playing in half speed, and that's how he's getting good time. I feel like for a race like this, there's no way to actually make it fair. Like, if you play in slow motion, you're absolutely going to get a better time than someone playing on full speed. But I feel like the only way Ninja Kiwi can fix that is by making races that are not as short, like this one. I don't think Ninja Kiwi expected people to get this fast in the race, but they gotta make like Ouch and Popple if they want us to not utilize lag to our advantage, you know? Because lag is gonna make races a little unfair to those who can't lag their computer or PC or their phone. Like, even though I can lag it, I prefer not having to do that to get a good time, you know? So yes, hopefully they ban Gwen, don't allow us to use Bomber Ace, Recursive, Glaive Lord, make the average times pretty high, so that we minimize the issue of lag as much as possible, you know what I mean? Alright, so back onto the BlueStacks version here, which is so much easier to get a good time thanks to the half-speed game and how much more micro you can do. And here's a pretty prime example of how much you can utilize that to your advantage, and how much more you can do compared to playing on Steam. Because you'll see I'm going to improve my time a shit ton here. So the difference in strategy here is really not that much, honestly. We're just sending out the rounds earlier because, well, we're going to buy and resell Gwen a lot more times. You'll see I already bought and resold Gwen a second time here, putting her in the top intersection for the third time, just so when she throws that fire, she can throw it right in that intersection. And well, pretty much the rest is close to the same. We're just spamming bomber races, spam recursive clusters, and spamming the shit out of 402 glaive ricochets, because those are great versus like zebras, which recursives and bomber aces are going to leave a lot behind. And for cams, of course, since the bomber aces can't get all of them. We got a ninja, a 420 ninja at the back, just so it could counter espionage those balloons. So the early and mid game is pretty much the same thing, although this time, instead of just spamming more defense to defend the last balloons, we're actually going to get a ground zero. Yes, ground zero. I know a lot of people suggested to do this on stream, although in the Steam version it's just really annoying to do this since you gotta sell them at lightning quick speed. It's just so much easier to do it when you're in slow motion. So yeah, you get more than enough money to use that ground zero and buy it in time. And use it in time, right as the last balloon comes out. We're just gonna add Jungles of the Druid, just to insta-kill any balloons that may be left, and there it is. 108.80, that's a 7-second improvement in case you can't do math. Pretty good improvement, I gotta say, even though it wasn't even a perfect run. There's definitely some things there that we could have done a little bit faster, and you'll see that right in this run over here. So you see this time I actually changed the position of the second Gwendolyn I got. Instead of putting her in that intersection again, you know, where a lot of balloons pass, we actually put her on the very, very left side. Because if we do that, we can actually send the rounds a lot earlier. The only issue is that it's a lot harder to survive, and yeah, just in general, it's a lot more chaotic. Because when Gwen throws her fire in the intersection, it might be good for money, but it's actually not good if you want to defend all the balloons incoming. Because, you know, the balloons coming into the track for the first time, they're overlapping with the balloons that are going to exit. So that means a fire splitting focus, which is kind of not what you want, because that just makes it harder to defend. And of course, they're getting ground zero to finish all the balloons off. And here we actually find a glitch that I unintentionally discovered that actually hurt me. You'll see really soon, but basically I'm doing the same thing, getting a Jungle of the Druid to finish the rounds off, and getting ready to use the ground zero when the last balloon comes out. But when we use the ground zero, look, there are still balloons on the track, and why is that? That actually cost us a new best time. Because if I slow it down, you'll see I actually popped the last balloon coming out at like 107 or something like that. Somewhere close to there, but no. There's some stray pinks, black balloons, white balloons remaining, and we end up getting 110. So why does that glitch happen? I swear this glitch was also a thing back in BTD5 in battles, although it was never fixed. And apparently it wasn't fixed in this game either, so what's the cause of it? You're probably wondering. And I was wondering that too. I was like, why the hell is my ground zero not ground zeroing everything? Even though it did it for the past other attempts. Well, if you take a look at the replay here, I'm going to show you another attempt where I pretty much do the same thing, on pace for a really, really good time. This footage is much more clear to see what's happening. You'll see that when I use that ground zero, there's so much more balloons left, but take a look. Let me pause it. Look at where the balloons are and which balloons they are. In case you can't tell, it's the Distraction Ninja that's causing the issue. Believe it or not. So Ninja Kiwi, if you're watching this, I hope you plan to add this on your fix list, because that actually cost me pretty big time. Instead of getting a PB, we end up having to spend an extra 5 or so seconds cleaning up the rest, but that's gonna cause us to lose our PB pace. So, well, I guess he can't use Distraction Ninjas then in this race. Because I still want to get a better time than 108, because I know it's possible, even though you see there that I was already first place on the leaderboard. Wasn't sure if anyone was going to pass me up, so just to be extra sure I played a little bit more, and here's the ending strategy that got me the best personal time, which as of now I'm not sure what this places as. I know a lot of people got banned falsely earlier, so who knows what their time is. They could be lower than 108, and because Ninja Kiwi hasn't unbanned them yet, might as well just work to get the best time possible. So here we are. And this time, yes, no Distraction Ninja. So what am I going to use for camo as well? There's a pretty obvious solution here for camos, and I'm going to show you in a bit. But first, early game strategy. We're going to start with Gwen, of course, in that intersection. Use her fire, sell her. And this time we're going to put her very, very, very far behind the track. Because this time we're sending out 48 before we even drop the fire. So we just follow up with a Bomber Ace, which FY has a ton of bomb power. Follow up with a Recursive. So you literally can't afford to make any mistakes here. And you'll see also, I'm dropping Ice Tower, and if you're wondering why I do that, well, it's because there's some fortified ceramics on 46. And because you're setting out 48 so early, you're gonna have to deal with those ceramics at the very, very start of the wave. And it turns out that I died a lot of times because Gwendolyn's fire plus a bomb tower wouldn't be able to pop the entire ceramic in time, so we just leak like 20 plus lives. So the easy solution to that is just drop a damn Ice Tower, and enough time to get up our Glaive Ricochet. And yes, also a village. It's a little bit cheaper than a Blue Jitsu, so I probably should have just gotten that from the start. I just thought it was a little too expensive to afford, because you're paying like 3k for no palm power, but you're gonna have to. So, we stop with 2 Recursives and 2 Glaive Ricochets, or 2 more Glaives, actually 3 Recursives. Going a little overkill here because we have to pop that Moab before we get a ground 0 up. Because after we pop that Moab, we're gonna have to sell the 2 Recursives, because we gotta afford that ASAP. So we buy that ground 0 around 51 seconds. And also one more thing that's extremely different here. We're going with a 004 Boomerang temporarily. Because when I was playing this, I could not beat that cluster of Moabs you see there. There's like 4 of them there. They just walked by my defense way too fast, so I just dropped a real quick 004, pushed it back a little bit, and that was enough to stall the mobs so that we can pop them before we get a ground 0 up. And then we use it for the last time, drop it like it's hot, and boom. 105.25, guys. That's my best time for this race. Could have been close to perfect, although, because of a mess up at the ends, a little bit off, but nonetheless, pretty good time. As of this leaderboard, it looks like we are second, but it could be first because I don't know if that 56 seconds is legit. It doesn't look like it. I mean, just to put things into perspective, if you want to get 56 seconds, you have to send round 48 at 2 seconds in, so that physically isn't even possible. Unless you use an auto clicker or something like that. But even then, there's no way to survive if you send out all those rounds at once. I've tried, trust me. Like, even 105 here is pushing the limits. But I guess we'll see what Ninja Kiwi says after they investigate. Because they generally take a day or so to give the rewards out. So we'll see what our placement is at the end here. Cross the finger for 2nd place for the 5th time in a row. Please. So, update on the race. It's a day later, and Ninja Kiwi's finally giving out the rewards, and somehow I finished in 6th. Now, there is only 2 possible options as for what happened here. Either 1, 4 or 5 people miraculously took over my time legitimately in the last 2 hours of the race, because that 105 was posted near the very end of the race. Or number 2, which is 99.99% more likely, Ninja Kiwi automatically gave up the rewards without actually deleting the hackers from the leaderboard at the end. So yes, Ninja Kiwi gave out the top prizes to hackers. Now that is something. On top of banning legitimate people for scoring low times and not unbanning some of them, to pour salt on the wound, I'm pretty sure nobody actually got any of the top 3 prize badges legitimately. Again, you can tell if somebody's hacking on the leaderboard based on their badges. Now obviously it's not 100% certain that they could be hacking even if they have no badges. They could just be coming back from vacation or something like that, but still. It's pretty obvious to tell in this case because I'm almost certain there's no way to get below 1 minute. And the scores in between them are definitely not by legitimate people. So yeah, I guess we're stuck with a top 1% badge for this race, at least until Ninja Kiwi fixes it. Unfortunately, they're on holiday, so we're gonna have to wait until they come back and find out what our actual placement is, but, well, I guess no more 2nd place this time. 2nd place belongs to a hacker, but hopefully they don't make the same mistake again. As you can see, there's still a lot of cleaning up that needs to be done. A lot of flaws that need to be fixed, but that's it for me. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hey guys, so quick update on the race from Tree Stump about a week or so ago. Well, if you didn't know, hackers ended up placing me lower than I should have gotten. But now that Ninja Kiwi's back from holidays, they went ahead and fixed it, looked into the leaderboard, investigate the scores, and it does turn out that, yes, I did finish in first place, as I expected. So hey ISAB, sorry for the mix-up on the leaderboards, we will remove the extra badge later, but here are the correct rewards. And yes, here it is, that sweet, sweet Black Diamond #1 badge, alongside the hefty 1k monkey money that I'll just blow in one session of races. Trophies, powers, yada yada yada, but most importantly as well, that 050 Insta. The only Insta in the game, in fact. So again, thank you Ninja Kiwi for fixing that, much appreciated. And if you did happen to miss that #1 run, I'll link the video to it in the description, just in case you're curious, but that's all I have to say about that race. Now on to the current race. Enjoy! So another race, yet another race that uses bomb race, oh no. So you pretty much know what to expect in this race. It's hard mode, in the loop, which is basically a godsend for bomb races, so expect no different in terms of our strategy here. By the way, aces on centered are absolutely amazing on this map. If you get a 032 bomb race, all the aces will go around like this loop here. The perfect map. So I really hope Ninja Kiwi does not make another race that has Bomber Ace, Wallfire, or Recursive enabled, because that kind of just makes it repetitive. Either way, let's start. Here's my strategy. We'll go up to 11 here, and we're going to buy a Bomber Ace real quick first off. Save up the 970 that we need to afford it. Don't worry about leaking the lives here, we got Mana Shields. With Mana Shield, you can greet so hard. So Bomber Ace now, set up to 23, 24. Hell, we can even go up to 25. And then we'll get our aces all in the middle here. All of them. So set up to 33, get a second Bomber Ace up. And next up, you guessed it, Bomber Ace. Bomber Ace, Bomber Ace, Bomber Ace. This one figure 8, set up to 39. Because now we gotta get defense for a fighter plane. Something to pop the Moab. Anything. So let me get 4 up first. 4 bombers. And now we got a fighter plane. Sweet. And you know what to do after this. Keep them coming. More bombers is the better. And we gotta get them all into 032. Or at least the ones we're getting now. 032. And is that enough? Actually, oh, hold on, I forgot. 400. 400 is very reliable if you want to deal with a lot of balloons. Because bomb races are really inaccurate, you could end up RNG dying to random rounds. So now, what do we get? A ground zero. Sell this one, ground 0 now. And we're basically gonna send the last of the rounds out. Boom, up to 80, so the exact same as the first hard race. That race we sent up all the rounds like 59 to 80, all in one swoop. We use the GZ to bomb everything up. And there's a chance here, if I drop more aces after I use this ability. So I'm gonna do this, sell, buy this, buy more aces. We might run into a glitch. There's a glitch that freezes our game so we won't get a posted score. Like the game will stay infinitely, and you'll never finish. Let's hope this doesn't happen, but it might. Ground 0 again now. But we're just gonna keep dropping aces. Doesn't seem like it's happening right now. One more. Alright, sell this. And yeah, that's a strategy, boys. Oh, nope, we ran into it. Look. Look. See these aces at the bottom? They're not moving. They are stuck. So that's an issue when you use a lot of aces. For some reason on this race, I know it happened to a lot of people, me included. So yes, if you do go all aces on this map, on this challenge, you are most likely going to run into this glitch. Oh man. So we're never going to finish the time, just watch. The balloons are halfway cut, and when you pop out the balloons, it never ends. The round never ends. FYI, this has happened every single time I've used a lot of aces in a race. So, yeah, it is not going to end. The only way you finish this race is by quitting. So that's exactly what we're going to do, but that means we got to find a strategy that doesn't use a lot of aces. All because of a glitch. So, back to the drawing board. So I'm still going to start with aces, but the thing is, we're not going to keep spamming aces after we use a ground 0, because I feel like that's when the glitch is most likely to happen. So we're just going to avoid dropping aces, any aces after we send out all the rounds. Okay? So ace in the middle here is okay, right? Dead center, I assume. I think he'll still drop bombs here. I gotta hope, though. It's like barely reaching the bottom of the track here. The thing is, like, if you get a 0-3-2, you spend extra money on getting the bottom two, which is a lot of money you lose. So I feel like this one you don't need center, but the other ones you do. That's why I didn't get any 0-3-2s until later. Anyways, maybe we'll lose less lives that way. Maybe we'll get the bomb race faster, but either way, let's go. Up to 11 now. Basically what we're looking for is, do we get the bomb race at 40 seconds? If so, then it's basically on par with the other strategy. If this way's faster, then, well, this one is superior. So 40 seconds is what we're looking for. 15 now. 15. And how we doing? How we doing? Fast forward. This is with no ace micro, so keep that in mind. Well, it seems like we're leaking a lot less lives. I will say that. And will we get the bomb race up? 40 seconds has passed. Okay, about the same, honestly. About the same, it looks like. 25. And we'll get aces now. Lots of them. Many as we can. Gonna send up to 32 now. 35, honestly. Do I dare send 39? Yeah. Let's go low ham here. The earlier you get a 330 time, the better. Then I can just stop. So, okay, that's 4. Now we send to 45. And I guess now we get 0-3-2s. Get them all in the middle. The only issue is this goddamn mob, though. I feel like we're gonna die to it. The ceramics are just gonna run through, along with their insides. Let me get one in infinite all the way up here. Set up to 59 now. And how is that gonna do versus the mob? I think we can do it, okay. I think we got that mob under control. And how many bomber aces on center do we need? We actually have 100 lives, I just realized. So did we play too safe? I think so. Okay, stop. We got to get the ground 0 at 2 minutes, so that we sent 80. So we should get it now. Oh, damn it. It's not time yet. Now? Alright, 80 now. Set to 80. I'm going to get some maelstroms real quick, so we can use it before we use the ground 0. Just in case we're gonna die. Come on, spam click it. Spam click. Maelstrom, ground 0. Holy crap, that was close. That was too close to comfort. But we definitely sent out 80 a lot early this time. So that bodes well for us. That bodes well. Oh, camos. Ground 0 again. Just gotta have constant ground 0s, pretty much. Let me get a super monkey now for the strong balloons. All maelstroms now. Thin out the wave a little bit. Camos are an issue, yes. Guess I'll get a 300 sub. Just for good measures here. And I don't think we need to use, don't gotta use ground 0 anymore, do we? I guess I'll just save it for the end if we're looking alright. More maelstroms. I do see some mobs getting really far, though. That's the only concerning thing. Let me ground 0 that. That was a little unsafe there. And then Jitsu's at the front, and that should be GG. Do we use it now? Yeah, pretty much. Alright. And wait for the last rainbow, and GG. What's the best way to kill it fast? I don't know. Bunch of super marquees. Alright, 335, 335. Still not below 330, but not too bad, not too bad. Where does that place us? 15th. So a little bit out of the top 10, but that's fine. Not like there's a reward for top 10. I think the Maelstrom and the GZ was the right choice. So get the GZ first and then the Maelstrom. How's that sound? Let's go. Gonna send up to round 12 here. Alright. So aim for 155. 155 is the goal. Sent out round 80. Last round by 155. And when are we gonna get our bomb race up? Let's hope to RNG that we get it before 40. If we're getting it before 40, that's a good pace. It's only a matter of RNG though. What balloons pop? At what time? There we go, 41 seconds. Could be better, but could be worse as well. I'll take it. Gonna send up to 35 now. It's kind of risky though. We don't have... Okay, there we go. 39. And then third ace. Also on figure 8. Basically, get 3 aces on figure 8s. And then we send up 40. Down to 80 lives. Not too bad. We're actually doing pretty well in the lives department. 45. Alright, another one on circle. 49 now. Now is when we get them on 032. 032. 032. One more 032. 58. 59 now. 59. X for sub. There we go. And one more ace up here, I think. On infinite. And we're doing pretty well. Okay. We're on a good pace here. Good pace, folks. Now just don't die. Let me get an R for attack. Just for good measures here. And you know what? Let me do this. Set the rounds now. Ground zero. We got it really early. Really good. Okay, all 80 rounds are sent. Now we just got to survive. I will survive. That's balloons are moving really fast though. GZ, GZ. Drop the bomb real quick. Alright. Got another GZ up real quick as well. And now we spam Maelstroms everywhere across the track. As much damage as you can. And if we spam them, we should not die to these balloons here before we get another GZ up. And we're kind of leaking. Nope, nope, we're not. We're not. Alright, cool. We have 13k. I'm just going to use it now, though. And that's the last time we use the GZ until the end of the game. And now we try to kill the Moab with the Zoom G. How the hell do we do that? Well, to starters, we're on pace for 330, so don't mess up, man. Don't goof. That's the motto. Screw it, we get fighter planes too. Moabs are the issue. 4 to 5 BFBs. That's what's causing us to get a bad time. And also to kill the balloons at the front earlier, what do we do? What kind of times do we get? 2 fighter planes, okay. And we should drop the bomb about now, okay. Oh no! There's ceramics up there that are not dead. Come on. Last balloon? Oh, what the hell? No, 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 no. Oh no. Okay, it's still below 330, but the thing is, the last balloon came out like a good 5 seconds before that. And the issue is that our ground zero didn't pop the 4 to 5 BFB. So we still didn't have mob damage. Damn. So it's still below 330. I think I'm gonna stop there though. It's still a decent time. Not like 320 or 327 gives you a better reward. So clearly not the best we can do, but just cause there's no rewards for top 10, gonna wait for Ninja Cube to get better rewards before we go any further down the Monkey Money pool. Hackers? Yeah, we're probably already top 10 actually, yeah. Take away 4 people here. This hacker. No badges, hacker. Yeah, we're 8th place. We're 8th place even though we made a big mistake at the end.